Welcome everybody, I'm glad you're here. This is training number 3 in a series of trainings I'm doing that take us from positioning statements, making this job so much easier. The topic of this training is revenue generating activities. And I want to not oversimplify because you can't oversimplify this. It truly is as simple as I'm going to show you here today. We struggle as a company and as an industry, we struggle getting people up to speed quickly. And so the scenario I'm going to lay out here for you today, although it may apply to you, the scenario I'm going to lay out for you today is if I were to bring somebody on board starting next week, and by the way, I'm starting somebody October 1st, and I've got new people on that I'm bringing on every single week into my team directly. What's going to be different about how those people are trained versus how we as a company typically train? Because there's certain things that we haven't paid attention to. There's certain things and certain areas that we are not supporting when it comes to bringing on new agents and getting them productive quickly. So let me get my little slideshow up here. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make the RGAs, or revenue generating activities, simple. And so simple that I'm not even going to have a fancy presentation. I'm just going to use my tablet as if I'm bringing you in and we're sitting at the conference table in my office and we're going to talk about these things. So there's only 3 revenue generating activities right now. Why that's important to know is because that's not the way it used to be. We've talked about this in the last trainings too. We used to have lunches and door knocks and Facebook ads and all this crazy stuff. People, anything we can possibly do to avoid making this job easy, we would do it. So if there was a harder way to do it, most agents were 100% committed to doing it the hardest way they could find. I want to just try to make $100 a month. That's what how hard can I make this job? Instead of making $5,000 or $6,000 a week, I'm going to target $100 a month, and I'm going to do whatever I can to make it as hard as possible. That's what I see. Now, that's not what they tell me, but I also don't just listen to what people say. I study the metrics and the evidence. So that's why I've been on this kick the past month about keeping it simple and focusing on these revenue generating activities. There's only 3. And here, I just did a podcast with JM, and I did say this. So I forgot I said this, but I said it because I say it so many times. What are we training people on if we're not training them on these revenue generating activities? What are we showing people in their first week or their first 2 weeks or their first month, folks? Think about that. 160 plus hours is their first month. If they're working full time, they're sitting in here, they're sitting with me for 160 hours. Folks, I could teach you brain surgery. If I'm the world's greatest brain surgeon and you're sitting right next to me for 160 hours watching me perform brain surgery, and you've never even gone to medical school. I don't care. You may have not even gone to college. If you're sitting next to me, the world's greatest brain surgeon, I could teach you brain surgery in 160 hours. Now, that's such a long time. But then I look at the evidence and I look at, I get these emails every day. Hey, Don, can I have my $199 back? It didn't work for me. The training was terrible. I've been here 6 months. I'm $500 in debt and back office fees. I haven't made a penny. We have 7.5 million eligible clients plus their friends, family. So we have roughly 50 to 100 million people eligible for our services, where we don't charge a penny. We never sell anything. We never ask them to buy anything, and they all need our help. This person has been here for 6 months and hasn't made a penny, and they want their money back. And by the way, I give them their money back because I agree. So again, rhetorically, what in the world are we showing people their first week, their first 40, their first 80, their first 120, their first 160 hours? What are they doing? They can't go home because they told their spouse they're now an appreciation agent. They're supposed to be making money. They can't go to Starbucks because they can't afford Starbucks. So what are they? They're hiding in your office, but what in God's name are they doing? So let's reinvent how we do this. Let's show you how I did it, how I would train people coming into my companies and coming into my business model. I stuck to and focused on the 3 revenue generating activities. And so let's see, we have 3 revenue generating activities, and I'm going to show these to you right now. So here they are. We do these 3 things. We set appointments, we run appointments, we run first appointments, and we run second appointments. So you can argue with me. Well, no, there's a lot more that we do. We do a lot more. But if these three things are not happening, excuse my bad grammar, we ain't making money. If these three things aren't happening, I don't care what level you are, MVP, RVP, AVP, 90, 70, 50, if this isn't happening to you or your team, nobody is making money. Because if there isn't a transaction happening, there is no commission to override. So this is how transactions happen. This is the only way transactions happen. They just don't happen magically, because if they happen magically, Terry Kennedy would build a system to eliminate all of us. So they don't happen magically, because this is a business that is knee to knee, whether it's on Zoom or in person or on the phone. This is a knee to knee business, because your job is not to sell insurance. Your job is to facilitate financial security for people. Facilitate, remember, to take a process and to make it easier. That's what you do. They can all your clients can do this on their own. They don't want to. They want you to help make it easy. And when you make it easy for them and they get their mind right about money, you make money off of that. And the client doesn't even have to pay you for that. It's the best business model in the world. But if we're not doing these three things, nobody's making money. So if I see somebody that's 90 or 108 days in this business that hasn't made money, I guarantee you they don't know anything about these three things. You can argue, oh no, I showed them that. They don't know anything about these three things. So what are they doing? Okay, well, I'm going to be agent A. I'm doing okay. So I somehow I managed to fight through the poor training and all the drama and all the greed of me being recruited and people slicing me up 12 ways from Sunday and overriding me and all that. No one showed me how to make money, but they sure make sure that whoever's above me is going to make money if I were to sell something. And by the way, 90% of us will never make any money because they're doing it wrong. So, but I fought through all that. So nobody helped me statistically, and here I am. But here's what happened to me my first year. So my first year in 2020, I did 70 apps and I made $94,000. Okay, well, that's all right. Almost made 100,000. I'm a little mad that I didn't make 100,000, but I did pretty well. And then Don hammered in my head, what is your number one number? What is the metric? The metric is that the number that I need to know before I can build any business plan, before I can recruit anybody, is I need to know that every time somebody says yes, that in this scenario up here, I make $1,342. That's the magic number. I can build any plan in the world off of that. This is a real statistic, by the way, for a real agent, but I'm using it for me. So I haven't recruited anybody because I'm scared. I don't know anything about running a sales team. Great. You're going to be fine. But this is what I do know. And so now but here's what I can do. So I can talk to somebody about this business. Like I say, listen, I can teach you the 3 revenue generating activities. They're very simple. Most of them are fairly well scripted and they're very easy. And we have certain objections. I can teach you all that. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to only teach you the revenue generating activities in a specific order. But I got to build a business plan. The question I want to ask this person, and the question they should be asking me, is how can I make $2,000 my first week, Don? Or how can I help them make $2,000 their first week? Because here's what I know. If I show them this, if I show them how to make $2,000 their first week minimum, that person will never, ever quit. See, if you're not making money in 6 weeks in any direct sales organization, you're most likely going to quit. You can struggle and you can keep trying. But first of all, how can I be in a financial services organization and not make a statement like I can show you how to make $2,000 your first week? And by the way, the easiest $2,000 you ever made in your life. And I don't care if I'm talking to somebody that's never made $2,000 in their in a month. I can say this: if you do what I tell you to do, and you can do this, and it's not illegal or unethical, and it's very easy to do, if you do this, you will make at least $2,000 in your first week. In fact, I'll go one step further. I'll guarantee you that if you do what I tell you to do and you don't generate at least $2,000 in revenue, it may not pay out the first week, but the pipeline will be full. If in 40 hours, you don't have at least $2,000 in your pipeline, I will pay you the difference. I'll pay you the full 2,000. That's how confident I am you can do that here. If you do what I say, it's not illegal, unethical, and it's very doable. In fact, it really involves one very simple activity. So remember, I'm an agent and I'm kind of experienced. I've got at least a year under my belt. I don't care if it's 6 months. I've got clients, I've got things going on. So here's what I do know. I know that I'm fairly good at the 3 revenue generating activities. How do I know that? Because I sold 70 apps and I made $94,000. So, you know, I've got the numbers. So I know I did pretty good, but I got to show this person how $2,000 is going to work. And look, I'm going to start them out at a 50% contract. So they're going to be at 50% contract, right? And I'm going to use my numbers because here's why. At least for a while, they're not going to be doing their own sales calls. I'm going to be doing the calls for them. I'm their trainer. I'm going to be closing for them. So I'm going to use my numbers, but I'm going to use them at a 50% contract. And so if they're at a 50% contract based on my closing average, they're going to make on average $671 per app. Because I'm making the other $671 because we're splitting this. So they're helping me, I'm helping them. I'm going to show you how it all looks and how it works. But I can sit there and go here. So now, simple math. If they're to generate $2,000 in their first week, they're going to need 3 sales, 3 apps the first week generated. It may not happen the first week, but I can predict it will happen by what they do. So they need 3 apps. They need in the pipeline 3 apps to make $2,000 in their actions and activities in their first week. Great. So am I showing them product? Am I showing them how the CRM works? No, I'm not showing me this. So, you know, go to Fast Start, watch the videos, call the carrier. I'm not showing you that. I'm only going to show you the skill. So, you know, if I have to show you brain surgery in 160 hours as a brain surgeon, I'm not going to have you go study manuals and books. You're going to sit right next to me and I'm going to show you how surgery works. So why are we sending them to read stuff and wasting time? Read on your own time. Study on your own time. If it's written somewhere, I'm not going to show you how to do it. If it's knowledge-based, product, back office, how to use a CRM, how to submit an app and all that, you know, you're going to watch me do it, but that's not our focus. My focus is to show you the 3 revenue generating activities, because if you got those going, I'll hire somebody to do your damn paperwork, folks. So what's going to happen this first week? Very simple. You're going to set 30 appointments in 30 hours. That's all you're going to be doing. Why? That's the #1 revenue generating activity. I mean, I'm not trying to be condescending when I say this, but you can't have a meeting with somebody unless you set an appointment with them. I mean, that's just pure logic. You just can't, you know, like Star Trek, beam yourself into somebody's living room and start talking about product. So the reason you're sitting in front of somebody with the other 2 revenue generating activities, again, I'm not trying to talk down. I'm trying to explain this as simply as possible. Nothing happened at all. Not $1 was ever made until an appointment was set, whether Para did it for them or whether they do it themselves. But my people are going to learn how to do it themselves. I'm not wasting Para on them. Why are new agents going out and doing Paras? They don't know what to do. So they're going to set 30 appointments, but they're going to set them. They're going to own every one of these appointments. I'm going to run them. They're going to set them. They have 30 hours to set these appointments. Now, where are they getting these appointments? Very simple. It's already all there. They're going to get these appointments in a very simple manner. They're going to get 10 referrals. I'm going to give them referrals because means you have to go get referrals, by the way. I'm going to give them my referral list, people that I've got 30 or 40 of those. They're going to set 10 warm markets so that they know 10 people. They don't know 10 people. They don't have the personality to be in this business. Not everybody can do it. Sorry. You don't know 10 people that will that know you well enough to go, okay, I'll listen to your stupid little spiel. You don't know 10 people, you're probably not cut out for this business. I'm gonna guarantee you, you have a whole bunch of pets at home. Nothing wrong with pets. I've got lots of pets, but you're more in line with talking to animals and human beings. This is gonna be a struggle. Hey, no judgment. I'm just saying that we have got to make sure these people know at least 10 people. And that these 10 people, I don't care if it's a brother or sister, it could be in any state, that they have 10 people to talk to. And then they're going to set 10 annual reviews for me. Now, maybe I've been here 6 months, but I can do a 6-month check-in. Doesn't have to be an annual review, but they're going to take my client base and I'm going to operation duplication them, right? That's what we talked about all year. And so and they're going to have a sheet of paper. They're going to have a sheet of paper that's going to have 10 referrals. There's going to be 10 boxes. There's going to be 10 warm market boxes and 10 annual review boxes. And they're going to start calling and filling these in. And here's the thing. I'm going to show them how to do that. I'm going to show them how to make a referral call. I'm going to show them how to make a warm market call. And everybody already knows how to do that. You don't need my track. You know how to do that. If you don't know how to do it, read This Changes Everything. All the scripts are in there. But you already know how to do that. Whatever it is you do is the best they've ever seen already. It's okay. Do what you do. You've set appointments. You don't need Don Spini to show you to set an appointment. You've already done it. If you've never done it and I just dropped you in some city and nobody ever trained you, but you needed to do it to survive, you'd find a way to set these appointments. But here's what they're going to be doing. Sit down over here. You have 30 hours. So 1 hour to set one appointment. Why is this so important? Number one, most of the fear and hesitation lives right here. Although this is the easiest thing we do, for a lot of people, it's the scariest thing we do. Because in here is the number one skill. The number one skill that makes you successful in this business is your ability to talk to a stranger and get a stranger to trust you. And that's what's going on over here. But guess what? What if they can't do it? What if they just absolutely cannot call people on the phone and set an appointment? What does that mean? We don't have to waste time with that person ever again. We're not going to carry them along and find out what they're good at, and then I'll do 90% of the work and they'll make 50% of the money. That causes resentment with you. So we're not carrying people. If you can't do this, you can't do this job, because if you can't do it, you can't show somebody else how to do it. And there's only 3 revenue generating activities, and this is the most important one. But guess what? Guess what I found out about them? When did I find out they can't do this? I found out day 1, not day 90 when they're on Glassdoor telling everybody what a horrible trainer I am and what a horrible company is and what a scam and what, they're a bunch of unethical creatures over here. So on day 1, they know they don't have what it takes, and that's their fault, not mine. But when I have people 90 days in this business and have never set an appointment, well, what do you do? Well, I do the fact finder. I don't do the appointment. I see this. What? I'm sorry. What'd you say? Terry has been saying this to me since he just came out of the garage. He said, I need to know today if they can do the job. So what Terry would do is, hey, Evan Cargill, come on in. He's my new guy. Comes in, sits down. Terry's like, great. Well, I would love for you. There you go. See, he's already going to be successful. So what did Terry do? He goes, Evan, let's get in the car. We're going to a school. Day 1. And Evan's like, what? Yeah, come on. Go to the school. Hi. Lady at the front knows Terry. Great. I got an appointment with teacher X to go back there. Terry does. All right, Evan, we're going to go door knock. What? Yeah, we're going to go door knock. I'm going to do the first one. You're going to do the second one. Terry goes in. Hi, we're working with Mary over here. She wanted to give you the Starbucks card, and she thought you might be interested in what we're doing over here. We're doing pension reviews, and we're here next week. I'd like to set one with you. She goes, okay, great. Terry sets the appointment. They go to the next door. Evan, your turn. What? I can't do it. Open the door, shove Evan in there. Doesn't matter. If Evan says something, he's got what it takes to be successful. That's what Terry would do. If Evan ran out the back door screaming, then we don't have to waste any more time. Well, that's what this does now in today's world. So here we go. I'm going to work on your warm market. Let's talk about, I've got these clients. I need you to set appointments with these folks. Here's the script. Put it right in front. Here's the annual review script. Here we go. Read it. Call them up. You have 30 hours. Well, I ran out of warm market people and I only got 2 appointments. Well, you better get the phone book out because you need 10 appointments. What? No. Here's my point, folks. Nothing else. We don't stop at 6 appointments. We don't stop. So look, I worked 30 hours done. I got 7 appointments. You need 30 appointments. So next week, guess what you're going to be doing? You're not going anywhere until you set 30 appointments. Because these 30 appointments is guaranteeing you a 6-figure income. Remember I told you, how do you make $2,000 your first week? Now let me show you what happened here. Remember Karate Kid, right? Everybody's watching Cobra Kai. I'm watching Cobra Kai. But Karate Kid, the original one, before most of you were born, and I was an adult when that came out, sadly. Wax on, wax. Got mad. What does this have to do with karate? He went on. Sand the floor, right? Paint the fence. What is it? This directly has to do with $100,000 income. This is everything. This is it. Nothing happens. Nobody makes $100,000 if you don't know how to do this. So we're not going to the next step until you've mastered this or you quit. That's okay. One thing. Wax on, wax off. So here's why this now, they come to me after a week and maybe they got 11 appointments. I go, well, got 19 more to go. Next week, show Monday morning, get back on it, get the phone book out, go sit in front of Safeway. I don't care, 30 appointments. If you can't do this, why am I showing you the next? But here's what you got. Let's take a look at those 11 appointments. Because remember, I'm going to be running those appointments. Let me tell you what I know about those 11 appointments. What I know is when I meet with 3 people, I will write a transaction with at least one of them. Did you hear that? Because I know my numbers, because my life is all about my metrics, I know that 1 out of 3 people transact with me. They're all my clients, because I don't say no to you because you didn't buy something. But 1 out of 3 of my clients, I will transact. Why is that important? You set 11 appointments, so I'm going to transact with 3 of those people. Your first week, you set 11, you need 30, so we're not done. You're going back in the pit. But look what happened. Remember, you need 3 apps to make $2,000 the first week. You just generated, and I'm going to do the heavy lifting. All you do is call people. I've got to close them. You just generated $2,000 that week. You looked up, what does this have to do with karate? You just made $2,000. And you only did 30% of what I asked you to do. So Friday afternoon, they go home, and these meetings haven't happened yet. The meetings, maybe a couple have happened this week already. Maybe I've already got a transaction that we're splitting. Maybe they're happening next week or 2 weeks down the road. It doesn't matter. They're pipeline because I know my metrics. I can look them in the face and say, you made $2,000 this week. Now we got to go pull it in. We got to finish the job. But I know my metrics. These aren't going to be your metrics as my new trainee necessarily. Yours will probably be different once you're out on your own. But I know my metrics. So now they've made 11 appointments and they've made $2,000 on paper. I'm going to go pull it in. But how motivated are they come back and finish this job now? Because if they do this right, and if I use my numbers and we're splitting the app and they set 30 appointments, we will have 10 transactions. And 10 transactions on my average would net them $6,710 in their first week. Got to go pull it in. But what if I failed miserably and all those numbers were cut in half? Well, then they only made $3,000 that first week. So what if my closing ratio was only 16%? So I'm using my numbers I already know. I know how many appointments I've had, how many individuals, unique client leads I've met with, and I know that I met with 300, or in this case, I met with 210, and I sold 70 transactions. That's just a number. Why? Because I'm keeping my CRM up, my database, so I can study the numbers. I wish it was harder, but this helps you. By the way, I may be talking to you. This is what you should be doing next week if you want to generate $2,000. You may not have 10 annual reviews to set, but you certainly can go get referrals, and you can go to your warm market and go revisit them. But how, again, rhetorically speaking, how are we going 90 days and people aren't making any money? What in God's name are we doing with these poor people? This is not going to be who I bring into this company. Because here's what I've done before. So when I was at Lincoln, when we were killing it and we had 300 6- and 7-figure income producers, I had guys that said, they did this so well, they go, can I just set appointments for everybody else? I don't want to go to the next revenue generating activity. Can I just stay here? Absolutely. Why? My guys loved it. This person would set appointments for them. They'd split the app and everybody was making a ton of money. And the guy would go out and get referrals who did the actual first and second appointment and bring those referrals back to this guy. And he'd call, and my gosh, this guy would feed 4 or 5 agents appointments all week long. He was a private little para. So now watch what happens. I'm going to give them 160 hours to set these 30 appointments, but I want them to do it in 30 hours. But if they were to do this and it took them all month, and I cannot foresee a scenario where it would take them all month to set 30 appointments, but let's say I'll give them a month because they're making money today. In 160 hours, they've generated 30 appointments, and we are going to get 5 referrals from every one of those appointments. And by the way, these are their appointments. They're going to own these clients. Even the annual reviews, I'm giving them these clients. Although I'm conducting the meetings, this is their appointment, their database. These people go into their database. Their CRM is their client. I'm not stealing them from them and making them go start over again. I'm staking them in the business. I'm making money off them, and when they're self-sufficient, I'm going to override them. And when they're training somebody, I'm going to be overriding that person too. But now watch what happens. There's 3 revenue generating activities: setting appointments, running a first, and running a second. Once they set these appointments, I'm going to say, now, you're going to watch me run first appointments. You're not going to do any, you're going to watch me. You're going to watch me do 10. So they're still setting appointments, and then they're taking time off that to go get on the phone with me while I call the client, right? So there's Lynn Walsh, she's my client. I'm calling her, and they're listening. Hey, Lynn, it's Don. We have an appointment right now to review your pension, and this is all about you. And before we start, I just want to say a couple things. Number one, the school and the state, they don't have the resources to provide these services, so they contract with me. That's my purpose here. And what I want you to know is this: nothing is ever for sale. I'm never going to charge you a fee. I'm never going to charge you a commission for my services. My services to you will always be free. I am never going to ask you to buy anything. My job is to show you how your retirement is going to look and to guide you to make the right moves at the right time so you can retire the way you want to do that. Is that fair, Lynn? It's called a positioning statement. Great, let's get started. I'm going to ask you some questions. And the number one question, Lynn, is when you retire, so here I'm doing a first meeting. They're listening to this. I can do that. No, you can, but you're not going to. You're going to watch me run 10 of these first meetings, and you're just going to listen. And then we're going to talk about it. I'm teaching you how to do surgery elbow to elbow with the surgeon. And in between all this, they're studying. They're going to help me with apps. They're going to do all the stupid little petty paperwork. All the stuff is important to get paid, but that's not where when we're together, this is what we're working on. And guess what? So they've set, now it took them 2.5 weeks, but they set 30 appointments, but they've seen 10 first appointments. So they've done the first revenue generating activity. They've mastered it. And now they've watched the second revenue generating activity. And now here's what I say, good. You've watched 10, you're doing the 11th one. And I'm going to watch you. You watch me, I'm going to watch you. What? Yes. Here we go. Now they're doing it. They've seen it 10 times. There is no magic. There's nothing difficult about a fact finder appointment. And then, by the way, now we have second appointments that I've set. I'm 100% conversion to the second appointment. Now you're going to watch, you're running the next 10 first appointments, but now you're going to watch 10 second appointments. So they're in a staggered development stage. Here's how it works, folks. They watch me, I watch them, they do it on their own, they show somebody else how to do it. That's what now they're ready to train somebody else. Now they're ready to bring a recruit in. And by the way, before they've mastered the second appointment or even the first appointment, they can recruit somebody to do this because they've mastered the first revenue generating activity, how to set appointments. So they're ready to recruit right now. They're not waiting 8 months, 10 months to bring somebody in. 3 weeks into it, they can show somebody this and tell them the exact same thing I told them. Y'all with me on this? Because as they're learning the first and second, then they can turn around and show somebody else how to do the first and second. Now we've got staggered agents and staggered skill generation. And this is all, by the way, at the end of 30 days, the 160 hours, they're a master of all 3 revenue generating activities. They're self-sufficient, they're building their own team, and they made $10,000 or $15,000 their first month. If they're not, there is something we are doing wrong. And I'm not saying they cashed in 15,000 or 10,000. I'm saying it's in the pipeline. And when it's in the pipeline, they're never going to quit. And now they're confident. Because over here, I built systems. So right now, Ashley Patterson and I were building a virtual training platform that's going from A to Z, where I can train an agent and never have to talk to them. And that's being launched almost to me. That's for us. You want in on it, let me know. You guys can have access to it. But I'm doing it where all the back office, all that stuff is a virtual, going to go through 40 hours before they ever sit down with me and we talk about revenue generating activities. All the minutia stuff is handled. A to Z, they're tested on it. Show me how to work. It tests them automatically. It's the same platform a lot of you have gone through on the Fast Start, right? The course key. We show them how to run the CRM, and then we test them on it. We show them how to fill out an e-app, we test them on it. So all that is done, all the pre-flight school stuff is done before we ever sit down and start going through this. We can do this, and yours may not look exactly like I got my coaching, my people I coach here, right? They're on here. I no mercy. I'm the bad karate instructor, right? I'm the no mercy guy, right? But you're hiring me at no cost to you to kick your butt, to do only the things that make you money and nothing else. It's very simple. I don't show you things. I'm not saying this because I forgot I said it at the beginning of this training. I'm saying it again because it's important. I'm not showing you stuff that you can go read somewhere else. But that's what happens when we don't know what we're doing as trainers. We don't feel confident. Then we'll just read brochures to people and think we're doing something great for them. Everybody on here can do these things. And if you can't, in 15 minutes, you can figure out how to do it. And your mix may not look like this. You may not be able to do this. You may not have enough annual reviews to be scheduled. I don't know. Then make it 15 referrals and 15 more market, or make it 20 referrals and 10 more, whatever it is, 30 appointments in 30 hours, and nothing else happens until that's done. Then they're watching, then they're doing, and then they're doing it on their own. And 30 days later, you pick up a new trainee and you repeat that process, and you're AVP and then RVP in 12 months, not 12 years like it takes right now. People are like, I came on here 4 years ago, and people are like, well, Dawn's never walked the halls. I walked the halls 10 years ago, Terry, before there was any appreciation financial. I walked the halls. I've also built amazing sales teams nationally across this country, 36 offices. I've done it all. No one can out sad story me. No one can out, lazy me. Believe me, trust me, no one can out anything me when it comes to how to fail in this business and how to make excuses. So I've done every job. Terry did not inherit this business. He has done every job that we're asking you and your trainees to do. The difference is it's 1,000 times easier today than it was in 2009 when we started. It's 1,000 times easier because we have taken all the drama away. We've taken all the fear We don't know how to meet with clients. We've scripted everything. We've built a back office that does all the heavy lifting. We've cleared the path, so all you have to do is 3 revenue generating activities and show somebody else how to do those 3 activities. And that when you do that 5 or 6 times even a year, that you are overriding and making a 6+ figure override. It's just a matter of, and I was talking to a couple of very experienced agents this morning, and they, they're new, but they've come from very successful backgrounds, and people overthink it. They overplay this. They really do. They really overthink and overplay what's going on here. There are 7.5 million educators in K through 12. We have the entire database. So if we set 100,000 appointments a month, it would still take us a decade just to get to all those people. The only reason we're setting 30,000 appointments at Para, do you know why we're only setting 30,000? Not because that's the capacity of the machine. We only have 30,000 people out there with calendars open that can accept those appointments. Para can do 100,000 appointments a month or more, but there's nobody to send those people to. So we know the activity is out there. We know that we can get to these people. Our competition has been wiped out off the face of the planet. You're the only one standing there to help these people where no one else is helping them. And this is the question I ask every single time I do a training. All these people need our help. Nothing's ever for sale. We've never charged them a penny for our services, and we stay with them for decades. And our team will stay with them for decades, and we can't get one person a day to say yes to that. Ms. Teacher, I'm never going to ask you to buy anything. Nothing's ever for sale. You'll never pay me fees or commissions. I will work on your behalf. I will make your retirement simple. I will facilitate it. I will tell you when to make moves at the right time. I will handle the paperwork. I will do all that for you. Never charge you a penny. Is there anybody else you know that can use my services? Anybody else that would like to have that service, that free retirement facilitation service? No? Oh, okay. Well, I'll have one client every 2 weeks and then, ask Don to reset my back office fees every 6 months. One person a day to say yes to that. One person a day to say yes to, please help me, please make my retirement easy, and I will introduce you to 10 of my friends. They may test you and say, show me how you do this. Show me how nothing's for sale. Nothing's ever for sale, because when something's for sale, money leaves your estate and goes somewhere else. I used an example earlier this week with the Hawaii team. When people buy car insurance, the money is gone. It is a gamble. I pay money for my car insurance, and that money does not help my estate at all. It's gone. I'm spending money on car insurance. It goes away. It's gone. My phone insurance is gone. Remember, I buy those products with pain on my face, and I send them hundreds of dollars a month for my cars and pray to God I never need it. Our stuff is 100% used every single time. Our stuff is taking their crappy investment mentality, fixing it in their mind, keeping all their money with them so that it comes back to them in retirement bigger and better than ever. Or hopefully it never happens, in the fact that they die, that their dreams of a great retirement don't die with them, that their family can still live that dream. I facilitate that. There's 2 things going to happen to you, Ms. Johnson. You're going to die or you're going to live. And we need a plan for both, and I'm going to facilitate that for you. I'm never going to charge you a penny, and you never have to buy anything. It's your money that stays with you. Nothing leaves your presence, not even life insurance premiums. Those do not go to the insurance company, because you are paying $40 a month to get a $500,000 investment return back to you when you die. That's all your money. Nothing's for sale. I will never ask you to buy anything. I will encourage you to make the right moves at the right time. And right now, you need to move this money from this horrible variable account over here to a safe account. Here's the paperwork. Press hard, 3 copies. Let's go. So let me get off my soapbox. There we go. All right. That's pretty much all I wanted to cover here today. I'm going to continue a training series, not that it will be every week, but I'll send out a notice to everybody. And I'm going to check quickly here, over here, and see if there's any. So you guys can unmute yourself if you have a question quickly. There's a lot of comments over here. Yeah, preach. That's it. I was on it there, Ferguson. I was on it. Let's see. Okay, so if there's any specific questions or anything else I can ask about the company or what's going on, just unmute yourself.
I have a specific.
Yeah, go ahead. Is that Jeannie? Who was it?
Yeah, was somebody else talking?
No, go ahead, Jeannie.
Okay, so yeah, you mentioned in the first week to do all of these things, you know, without having sold enough policies to have 10 referrals or to get annual reviews. So you mentioned in the first week kind of practicing all those things. That's not been my experience. So I feel like that might be a disconnect from, you know, what you're saying to what my experience has been. Yep. So Mozone and Para and warm leads are kind of where I pull appointments from.
Sure. Good. So these numbers are you know, guesses. Mm-hmm. So believe me, if I just started this business, Jeannie, and I'm like, okay, I don't even have any clients yet, but I'm going to recruit somebody. I'm going to say, you got to get 30 appointments. Call me when you're done. Right. So they know people. So maybe it's 30 warm market leads, or maybe they're going to have to go down and get on Mozone. Right. And so I'll sign them up for Mozone. Okay. But the 30 appointments doesn't change, but where they come from can definitely change, but hold them accountable to it. Because remember, when they get 10, and I'm telling you guys this, when they get 10, they're making money. You got to do your part by closing them, but you can articulate to them. I know you only did 10 this week, and that's great, right? So I got Jim Ferguson on the phone here, on the horn here. He had to work 20 hours of just setting an appointment this week. No result expected, but he had to invest 20 hours dedicated to just setting appointments, right? We're getting him over a hump. So that's okay. The results are the results, but any result will result in something good for them. Because it's like any kid, you know, if you want them to do this, but they only did half of that, but they've never done that before, but they did half of it, they're excited, and you've got to encourage that. So what we know about metrics is this. This is very important. I did 30 hours of trying to set appointments, but I only got 10. I needed 30. That's the result. So 30 hours equaled 10 appointments. So again, just logic. So if I need 30 appointments, I need 90 hours to do that, or I need to get better at setting appointments. So, okay, now we're going to adjust it to 90 hours to make 30 appointments. Either way, when you know metrics, you can adjust either the action or the time. So I need to get better at it, or I need to do it more. I need more time doing it. Because if we're targeting the result of 30 appointments, we don't move off that. We don't change what the expected result is, because there's money associated with that. That's why those are important, those 30 appointments. Right. So go ahead.
Mozone and Para and warm leads, I mean, as starting and just getting into this and being new to this business in general, is that like, are those the best places to work on setting these 30 appointments?
Yeah, you know, like, yes, but also Sean McCarty, one of my other coaching students over here, I told him, go to Walmart and start asking for referrals in line. I mean, literally, I'm a retirement facilitator. Anybody know? And he did it. Again, not expecting a real result, just getting my mind around taking these actions, whatever it is. You know, find a way that's just it. The answer is to find a way. Where am I going to get 30 people? Well, I'm going to call everybody I know, and I'm going to have them. By the way, where are the referrals from my sister and my brother? Where, my brother? Dude, where are my brother, you're married to a teacher. Introduce me to your friends. Come on, I'm dying over here. You're my brother. You know, I'd give you a kidney if you needed one, for crying out loud. You can't give me 10 names. So, you know, whatever it is, Jeannie, find a way. Yeah. So set the mark at 30 appointments and find a way. And if it takes longer than 30 hours, it takes longer than 30 hours. But this is a full pipeline. This is a month's worth of appointments. My gosh. And a month generates 5 months worth of appointments, because you're going to apply the referral strategy. So stay the course, but don't bend on the 3 appointments. Expand the time.
Okay.
You Don?
You.
Yo,
Hey, just a quick question on, you've got the 30 appointments and now you've got the first and the seconds. How far out do you, would you recommend extending the first? Because that can fill up a week pretty quick.
yeah, I
That would be
do
hard.
them. Yeah, no, I mean, you know what? You're gonna be real busy.
Yeah.
Here's the
no
thing
kidding.
too, George. George, we're doing virtual. I can do 15 first appointments virtually. You know, I can set them from 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 at night.
Yeah.
But I'm not driving, right?
That's-
And they're just sitting on the computer with me, or they're on Zoom with me. So we can do a lot more appointments, and in between those appointments, I can set 3 more. But hey, here's a shocker. Work 60 hours. Is it worth a 6-figure, 7-figure job to work 60 hours for 4 weeks? You give me 60 hours for 4 weeks, you're a 6-figure income earner. And 60 hours of revenue generating activities, not 60 hours of reading about product. Give me 60 hours a week. Do that for 3 or 4 weeks. You are a 6-figure, 7-figure income earner. You know, hey, again, no judgment. Most people don't want to work 60-hour weeks.
True.
So I had a buddy who locked himself in his office at home, who wouldn't open the door. He had a bathroom over there, and he would not open the door for his wife or his kids until he hit a certain number. Literally, his wife slipped pizza under the door. His name is Tim, and he's a multi-gazillionaire. He has a horse ranch in Fallbrook, right next door to where he used to live. It was a 10-acre horse ranch with Arabian horses. He was broke 5 years before that. But one week, he locked himself in his room, slipped pizza under the door, drank from the sink in the bathroom for water until he hit a certain number of appointments. So is it worth it? Is a week or a month sacrifice worth a lifetime of financial security for you? That's the question you got to ask yourself. You know, when I'm coaching people, I ask them, are you willing to miss a kid's birthday party, you know, for one birthday party if it meant being financially secure forever? And most people say, no, they're not. No judgment. No judgment. But most people say no to that. So what does that mean? Nothing to you. Where is your mind at? Are you going to get out of your mind and get out of your way to be successful in this business? Guys, we're not selling lotions and pills and stuff you can't prove works ever. We're not selling stuff that is not FDA. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. We are selling peace of mind for free. And we can make a fortune doing that.
Don,
Who else?
you mentioned the virtual training platform. Do you have a target date for when that'll be ready?
Well, it's got to be ready by October 1st because we're putting people through it.
Gotcha.
So that
Yeah.
these are my recruits personally. So I'm personally gonna bring in probably 10 to 20 recruits a month myself, in addition to running the company. You know, but that's why I need that virtual platform. So I've got to do both.
Right.
But I'm gonna take them from A to Z, and then they're gonna be my trainers. So the first generation I'm gonna put a lot of work. I'm gonna work a lot of hours on that first generation, but they're gonna take the next generation. So I'm gonna put in the effort up front, and then I have to put in the effort on the back, and that's how you get leverage.
Hey, Don, I have another question quickly.
Go.
The company has, over the last couple of 3-4 months, of putting together a compliant, either a PowerPoint presentation, 3 or 4 slides. And I know that's not something that you training your people on. Are you doing it differently?
What compliance presentation are you speaking of, George?
The one that they will put through, with who we are, the retirement circle, and then the fact finder and some other things. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that because here's again,
Okay.
my philosophy is not everybody's philosophy.
Right.
I don't use charts and graphs to show anything. I do a fact finder. Remember, you're hiring me as your retirement facilitator the first meeting.
Right.
So I come to you and I say, great, you want to retire at 110%, you need to save $300 a month. Here's the form to do that.
Right.
I don't do charts and graphs. People use crutches. They do By the way, there's tools and crutches. I mean that. Some people use those things as tools. Some people use those presentations as a way to talk. They show this and they do the 5 pillar. By the way, they're great presentations. I love them. I've worked on them myself. That's not what I do. So you know, if I go to the doctor and the doctor says, great, like I diagnose you, and if you don't take this pill, you're going to die. I don't need a presentation how the pill was invented.
Right.
If I trust the doctor and I believe them and I take their diagnoses as the rule, I go buy the pill and I start taking the pill. Y'all with me?
Mhm.
Now, if I ask, well, doc, tell me a little bit about this pill, well, then he can bring out the charts and graphs. But why is he showing me the charts and graphs when I don't need to see them if I'm ready to buy? That's my philosophy. By the way, don't go tell your, Don says don't use charts and graphs. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't use charts and graphs.
I know.
If they're comfortable to you and you're making a lot of money doing it, you know, Godspeed. Yeah, here's my charts and graphs. This is what I usually typically do when I'm presenting anything, right? Because I'm not showing them anything, I'm facilitating. They tell me what the pain is, I show them the remedy. You need $300 a month, you need to move this money from here over here, and you need to increase your life insurance by 25%. Here's the paperwork, let me help you fill it out.
Gotcha.
Wish it was harder.
We don't want to
What
make
else?
it any harder.
Yeah. Anybody else? All right. Hey, guys. Thank you all very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you for staying with me on these trainings. I see a lot of the same faces, and that's great. I'm always available, you know, so call me. If you have questions, concerns, you need help with something, send me an email. So my job is to make you successful. That's my only job. So thank you all. Bless you. I appreciate your time. And I'll set the next training for the next week or two.
Thanks, Dave.
Adios.
Thank you.
Bye.